Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my YouTube channel, the channel where I strive to make the world a better place, one video at a time. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's topic is the importance of saving money. The importance of saving money. Never done a video like this before on my YouTube channel, but this is definitely something I want to dive into more. And I had the idea, but kind of was focusing on different videos at that time, then it slipped away from my mind. But today at work, I asked someone, do you have an idea of a topic I can cover in my video today? I asked one of my coworkers, and she said, well, you should cover like different things about like finances and different things like that, like saving money. And I was like, that's a great idea. And I was like, I'm so happy she said that, because there was a refresher in my mind that I was going to do a video like this before. So thankful that she said that. So we're going to cover that topic here today. I know that a lot of people have a lot of young people. This video geared more towards young people. I want to hit on this because I was in high school at one point with a job, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't want you to make the same mistake that I made. So for you young people out there, please listen up to this video. And also, we live in a society where a lot of times parents aren't there in the home. There's too many parents that isn't there in the home to teach their children these things. They don't teach them. Yeah, so children are growing up not knowing what to do and making a lot of lethal mistakes when it comes to finances. So the importance of saving money. The first thing I want to hit on is, one, if you are a young person and you have a job, or you are desiring to get a job, if you're like 14, 15 years old, I want to first commend you. That is very amazing. That is very great that you have that grind and that desire to build your income and get bread while you are young. For one, that is very commendable, because not every young person has their head on like that. A lot of them, not a lot, but there's too many young people who their mind is in the wrong place. So if you are one of those ones that want to start early and get a head start on building your finances up, that is one, very commendable. So I do want to say that. And I also want to give you a story about myself. And I said earlier, I made mistakes coming up, and I have learned from them, and I do much better. I could even do better, and I'm sure a lot of people can say that they can do better with their finances, and I definitely want to grow and do better, but it takes time and it takes discipline. So hopefully I get where I want to go, but I've done much better than I used to. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when I was young, I started working very early. I actually started working at like 14, 15 years old. I can't remember the exact age, but I was around that age. I was like middle school, about to go into high school. I started working. And actually, my first job was actually a job I did myself. I didn't work for anybody. I worked for myself. And I wanted to have that grind when I was young. And I was like, man, I really want to get some money, because I want this from the store and that from the store. And everything that young people want, their parents not going to buy it for them. Even if they have the money, their parents not going to buy it for them, just simply because you just not supposed to get everything you want. You want to work for it. So I was like, you know what? I want this. I want that. I want that. I'm going to work for it, So I just, there was actually a guy I know. He owns a barbershop, and grew up with his family, grew up around his family in church. He owns a barbershop, and his sister actually came up with the idea to have me wash cars at his barbershop while his customers are getting a haircut. So I said, man, that's a very good idea. So I mentioned it to him. We got it started that summer. I was washing people's cars. I went there on the weekends when it was busy, and I was washing people's cars, getting some bread. And it wasn't a lot, But when you are growing up, you don't have expenses. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay on this car payment. You don't have to buy food. All that money's yours. It wasn't a lot, but I was stacking. It seemed like a lot because I didn't have no expenses. So I was stacking and stacking, and it was like, it was cool to see that, especially at such a young age, that I was able to build that up. And then I did that for like a couple summers, and then I got my first job at a ice cream shop, and from then on out, began to work, in like just regular old jobs. But there was a mistake that I made, a very lethal mistake. I spent most of what I made. My check would come in, I spent most of it. I would have this day. One time I overdrew my account. We had no discipline, nothing at all. I was getting money at one point I had 2 jobs. I was getting money, and as soon as I got paid, or I saw I had money, I would go to the store, get this, go to the store, get that. A lot of times I spent it on fast food, and I spent it on this, and went to the store and got that, and all kind of stuff. And it's cool to have what you want, but realize that you're building for a future. See, a lot of young people, like, they get money, they like to just blow it on anything. But realize that you have a future. And realize that having money will help you get you to where you want to go faster for the dreams and the plans that you have in your future. I blew a lot of money. And I could have had thousands more than what I already have at this point in time if I was disciplined enough as a young person to save my money. I worked for 5 years before graduating. 4 years before graduating from high school. Think about how much money I could have had saved up in the bank. Thousands. Literally thousands. Could have been sitting in the bank. It could have helped me reach goals and different things like that. It could have helped me being solidified financially at a young age coming out of high school. But no, I blew most of it. There are some important things that you want to have a savings for. This is why it's important. 1, vacation. See, a lot of people make bad financial, before I hit this, I want to say this so I don't lose this thought. A lot of people make bad financial decisions so they don't even have money to do nothing fun. It's not even that they don't make enough. It's that they make bad financial decisions. So they don't have the money to go here. They don't have the money to do this. They don't have the money to go have fun or go on vacation or go. Because they make bad financial decisions. This is why it's important to save your money. This is why it's important to save your money. Here I have vacation. Future larger expenses, such as down payment for a car, down payment for a house, or maybe you want to buy that house straight out or buy that car straight out. Maybe some investments that you want to spend that money on. Future larger expenses. Emergency. So something like the Great Depression. Now, we haven't experienced something like that on that scale for a long time, but you would rather be safe than sorry. You would rather be prepared than not. So emergency, something like the Great Depression, where you would save money back for a situation like that to get you by while times are tough. Wedding or honeymoon expenses. Now, some people have help with their wedding and their honeymoon. Some people, their families or whatever the case may be, may pay it all. But for some people, they pay for the whole wedding expense and the honeymoon expenses by themselves. So that is something to save up for while you are working, while you are single, or at the girlfriend and boyfriend stage, or engaged. You're engaged. That's something that most definitely you want to save up for to help you. family. So things like college funds, maybe to pay some of your child's college. Cars for children. So maybe they turn 16 or they get their license and you want to buy them a car straight out. You can do that. If maybe they don't work enough hours, or maybe they're involved in sports and different things like that, where they cannot pay you back for the car payment. If you decide to do it that way, maybe you just want to buy the car straight out. So cars for children, and then funds for anything. If anything happened to you, that goes into the family. So funds if anything happened to you, as well as with life insurance. But it's also good to save back money just in case anything happens to you as well. And even for like if anything happens to you while you are living. So if you are bedridden for a while, funds for that. Because a lot of people's jobs don't pay. If they're on sick leave, they don't pay the whole entire thing. So it'd be nice for you to have money saved up just in case of an emergency that has to do with the family. So those are just a couple I've named, but these are very important things. You don't want to find yourself in a position because you used your money unwisely, you blew your money on something that really wasn't all that important, and now you want to go on family vacation, or now you want to go on vacation with your spouse, or now you want to go on vacation with your friends or by yourself, but now you can't do that. Why? Because you used your money unwisely. Future larger expenses. You stuck in this apartment complex and maybe have at this point in your life you have 4 or 5 children, and because you didn't use your money wisely, now you don't have enough money to have a down payment for a house. Emergency. So something like the Great Depression. So a time comes along where we're running out of food, or we're running out of all kind of things. We kind of experienced that during COVID with the toilet paper and whatnot. But I know that's not on the scale of the Great Depression, but it's kind of like that. But you never know how times can get. It can be something like that, but on a scale 10 times worse. And because you didn't use your money wisely, you're not prepared for that. Wedding, honeymoon. I'm about to get married, so this one really touches home. I could have had a significant amount of more money if I used my money wisely when I was coming up as in school. Instead of just blowing it all, I would have had so much more money for my wedding and for my honeymoon. Could have done a whole lot more. A family, so you have college funds, cars for children, funds for if anything happened to you. You might be bedridden and you barely any money in your savings account because you used your money unwisely. You weren't smart with saving money. You weren't smart with your finances. So now you're trying to figure out how you're gonna get by because your job isn't giving you the full amount. You've been bedridden for weeks upon weeks. Maybe your child is going off to college, and because you didn't use your money wisely, you cannot help them on the degree that you wanted to. So now they're stuck with all these student loans and different things like that, and then they have student debt when they graduate and different things like that, and they got to pay it back. When if you use your money wisely, could have helped them. These are important reasons. So important. These are vital reasons, imperative reasons why it's important to save your money. Now, listen, like I said, I blew most of my money that I made from ages 14 to 18, and I regret it. Could have had $10,000+ just sitting in the bank account when I graduated from high school. But I used my money unwisely, and I don't want you to do the same thing. So young people listening to this video, please save your money. It's going to pay off in the end, trust me. It's going to pay off. I know it's hard. It takes a lot of discipline. But think about your future. Think about your future instead of the here and now. And you'll see when you get there that it paid off. The importance of saving your money. Yeah.